Basically, the theme of this seminar is Gateway to China. And I guess another way of putting it is like this slide here. How you can access markets that are close to your current strategy. That's kind of the key theme about what CC Link can help you with. So these are the points I'm going to cover in about the next 20 minutes or so. Talk a little bit about what the technology is. Talk a little bit about who the organization is, the key players in the organization. Then, of course, we'll get on to the key point of the presentation, the Gateway to China itself, and then we'll finish. And then we'll have some questions and answer at the end of the presentation. So, first up is what is CC Link? It's an open network technology for automation. Basically, it's a way to connect all the different devices on a machine or a production line so that they communicate with each other, and it gives you increased performance, saves you installation costs, and so on. At the moment, we have 11 million devices installed worldwide. So at the moment, there's 11 million CC Link products working away in factories around the world and other installations. But I think probably one of the key points for a machine builder or an end user, somebody who's actually planning to implement the technology and use it in their systems, is probably the second 2 points there. Right now, there's about 270 manufacturers who actually offer a CC Link product. So that means when you're actually looking for devices to build your machines with, there's a lot of different companies that offer a solution. But as well as that, between them, they're now offering about 1,300 products. So there's a very broad portfolio of products to choose from. This is not some niche technology. It's very broadly accepted and used. We also have a Fieldbus and Ethernet version. And as you can see there, it's been around a long time. It's proven. So why is CC Link important? Well, this map, if you like, kind of explains that in one view. Obviously, when you go around the world, there's kind of three key markets, you might say, for automation. You've got, here we are in Europe, and obviously there's some technologies which are very strong here. If you go to the Americas, you have a similar situation there with other networks. But then, of course, there's all of Asia. And for any company that's planning to do business in Asia, whether they're planning to send machines there, planning to open plants there, or do business some other way related to automation, CC Link is a technology they need to be aware of, because the reason for that is Mitsubishi Electric is one of the key players behind CC Link, and Mitsubishi is basically the dominant force in that market. And so therefore, there's a very strong preference for CC Link in that market. So don't take my word for it. This pie chart is from IMS Research, or IHS as they're known now. And they're a company based just north of here, and they're very well known in the automation industry for their market research studies. This pie chart is from their recent study introduced earlier this year, which is an analysis of the global market for Fieldbus and industrial Ethernet. And what this is showing is the market situation in the Asia-Pacific market, as it was last year, 2012. And what you can see here is that there's no doubt that there's technologies which are popular here in Europe, like Profibus, that are also popular in other parts of the world. But what this pie chart is showing you is that it's fine to concentrate on those technologies and you can have good success with them, and no doubt that can contribute to your business. But what you're missing is that there's always going to be a piece of the market that you can't get to because you don't have the technology that that piece of the market is looking for. So another important point here is that there's also some other technologies in Europe which are very well known. For example, we've got some of these guys here on this side of the pie chart. Well, again, in Europe, probably very popular. A lot of people think they're the right way to go, and maybe for Europe, perhaps they are. But if you're looking to go into other parts of the world, like Asia, you can see here on this chart, maybe they're not going to get you very far. So that's another key point. And then just to kind of really show how it's going to go, again, this is from the same market research report from IMS, and this is the situation that they believe it will be in 2016. And you can see there that if you're not paying attention to CC Link, by the time we get to 2016, there's basically about a fifth of the market at least that you're not going to be able to get to. So again, CC Link is something that's very important for that market. And a further point that kind of reinforces that is this is a clipping from Drives and Controls magazine here in the UK from earlier this month. And this again is a report about two market research studies that recently came out, one from IMS again, but also another one from ARC, who's a similar company in the United States. And basically they're saying that the Asia Pacific region is now accounting for about half of all the global automation sales. So everything that is being sold in automation at the moment, about half of it is going into that market. So if you kind of take that and combine it with the potential that CC Link can offer, you can see there's kind of like a perfect storm going on there for technologies that you need to be considering if you want to get into that market. So just to sum up this part of the presentation, here's a couple of slides I've got which show you exactly how CC Link is being used in some industries. And this first slide shows you the flat panel display industry. And what you can see here in the red column is that CC Link is pretty much the dominant force in that industry. It's become established to the point where most of the screens that we interact with on a daily basis, like the monitor up here, your phones, your TV, your laptop, and so on, most of those screens were probably manufactured on a manufacturing line that was operated by CC Link. It's an 85% market share. That means that there's a pretty good chance that's the case. If you go to the automotive industry, again, maybe not quite as strong, but still a majority share. You can see here these are various well-known automotive manufacturers. I'm sure you can work out for yourselves who they are. And down here we have some of their key suppliers, like for example the tire industry. And again, very strong market share there. So if you're looking to operate in these kinds of industries, this is shows that CC Link is one of the technologies you need to be looking at. So that kind of gave you an overview of the commercial business situation, if you like. Now I've got a few slides here which will just give you an overview of what the technology looks like. So this pyramid is kind of like the classic network diagram that we use for illustrating the different levels of a network hierarchy. So what you can see here up at the top is this is the information layer, if you like. This is communicating from the shop floor to IT systems like SAP and so on, ERP, MES kind of systems, things that are actually running the production. Then one step down, we have, this would be kind of like your shop floor. So this is the networking that you would have along a production line maybe, linking together the different stations, different cells of a manufacturing line. And our solution for that is CC Link IE Control. So this is a 1 gigabit industrial Ethernet open technology. And at the moment, it's the only gigabit Ethernet solution available. Nobody else offers that level of performance yet on the market. So that will kind of provide your backbone, if you like. Then down here at the field level, this is what is providing the link between your control systems, your controllers themselves, and your field devices. So like your I/O, your HMIs, your inverters, and so on. And you can see down there we have CC Link IE Field. which is the kind of generic industrial Ethernet for that level. But the key point here is that that also operates at 1 gigabit. So there's no loss of performance even though you've come one level down. We have a variety of different protocols that runs at that level to handle motion control, safety, and so on. And then, of course, we shouldn't forget that at this level, we also have CC-Link itself. You can see down in the bottom corners there. That's the original Fieldbus technology that's still very widely used. So just to make it a little easier to understand how it all fits together, here you can see a typical installation. So at the top there, you've got your information layer. These are your PCs, maybe you're running a SCADA system and so on. Then one step down, we have the backbone, the CC-Link IE control. We've got all our controllers networked together here, maybe some more sophisticated devices like robots, for example. And then down here we have the field layer. So we've got CC-Link IE field and the various different types of control that can achieve. So altogether it gives you a full hierarchy and it all operates at 1 gigabit. Moving on, this is the Fieldbus, and you can see here that this is a standard bus type connection, so you have a cable that runs the length of your system, or your devices are daisy chained on it, and you have some neat features here, like for example you have standby master capability, so that if the main station stops working for some reason, you can continue to operate with a backup. As far as how we are accepted globally, this slide shows you some of the certifications that we've achieved globally so far. We've got the key ISO and IEC certifications, so IEC 61158 and so on, which is a very well-known standard in the automation industry. But we've also got some important national standards throughout Asia too. And again, this kind of backs up our position in those markets. What you see here is we've got several of the different Chinese national standards. Same thing for Korea, Taiwan, and Japan. And so what this means is that we have basically established a position in those countries where essentially the governments of those countries are recommending CC-Link as a technology to use. So you know, that's a pretty important point, that if you are working in China, you're actually going to see the Chinese government recommending CC-Link as a technology to consider using. And the same for the other countries too. And separately to that, down at the bottom there, you can see we've got the Semiconductor Equipment and Materials International SEMI organization. That's the trade association for the semiconductor industry. And we have certifications from them to be used in that industry too. So let's talk a little bit about who we are in terms of the CC-Link Partner Association, the CLPA. Well, as you can see in the slide here, we are a global organization. We have been established for almost 13 years now. We have offices all over the world, as you can see there. And as well as having regional offices to offer promotional support and so on, as you can see from the red dots, we also have conformance test centers all over the world too. So pretty much wherever you are in the world developing a product, you can know that when it comes time to conformance test it, you actually have the opportunity to do that somewhere local. The final part of the puzzle here is that you can see we've also got CLPA India there, and that's the most recent office to open. That opened last year, and that is kind of a sign that we're moving with the emerging markets, if you like. Everybody talks about the BRIC companies and how they are the up-and-coming economies of the world. Well, we're making sure we're keeping up with that too. So let's talk a little bit about who is running this organization. The big rectangle in the middle there shows you the key companies who are involved with actually running the CC Link Partner Association. So as you can see there, despite our strength in Asia, they're not just Asian companies. You can see 3M and Cognex, very well known in the industry and based in the United States. And of course we've got the other partners there. Mitsubishi obviously is a very strong partner and a key contributor to the technology. But the other key point here, we have a little surprise, if you like, coming up later in the morning. We actually have a new board member who has joined us just this month, in fact, from Europe. And they're a very well-known, not just European, but global automation supplier. And we'll actually be making a presentation to them a little later about them becoming a board member of the CLPA too. So I think really what you'll see at that point is that CLPA has strong support across the world and not just in Asia. And this slide here shows you a little bit more about how that works. These pictures are advertisements that we've done over the past year or so with some of our key partners in Europe. These companies are all supporters of the CLPA. They all have CC Link products, and they all actively are providing CC Link solutions. And as you can see here, you can just about read those logos, I think. They're all well-known names in the industry. You've got Balluff and Festo at the front there, both of whom came to speak today. We're grateful for their support for that. But also in the back there, we've got companies like Datalogic, very well-known company from Italy, probably the world leader in ID systems, barcode scanners, and so on. We've got HBM, who is, again, very well-known in the technology for weighing, very big presence in the food and beverage industry, and so on. And then also, again, we've got Biel and Wiedemann, another key partner who's here today as well, with a display outside. So you can see, it's again, there's good support here in Europe. It's not just some obscure thing from Asia. As far as what we do to support our partners in general, this is just a list of some of the things that we do. Various different promotional opportunities we can work with you on to get your product more widely exposed in the market. I think the key point here, though, is what it says there at the top of the second column. There's no additional cost to regular members. If you join the CC Link Partner Association as a regular member, so you pay as a membership fee every year, you get all these kind of opportunities as part of your membership. So there's no real hidden additional costs for that kind of activity. So how do you actually build a CC Link device? Well, we're not going to get into deep technical details here today because it's not that kind of seminar, but just to give you a very brief overview, there's two different technologies, as we mentioned. You've got the CC Link Fieldbus and you've got the CC Link Industrial Ethernet, CC Link IE. So we've got support in the industry from most of the well-known players for offering these kind of solutions. We've got Hilscher and HMS, again, very well known for providing connectivity solutions for automation. So Hilscher's got their NetX and HMS has their Anybus. Of course, Mitsubishi offers solutions too with their different ASICs. And then when you go to the industrial Ethernet level, this is a standard industrial Ethernet physical layer. So everything you already know about Ethernet in terms of switches and Cat5 cable and all that kind of stuff, exactly the same for CC Link IE. But as well as the HMS solution there, Renesas has a solution which they'll be talking about later today, the RIN device. And also you have an FPGA solution there too with Altera. So there's multiple different ways of implementing a CC Link product. And of course, once you've developed it, then you need to get it conformance tested, which is something we strongly recommend. We basically don't promote products which are not conformance tested. And the reason for that is because it gives everybody that confidence in the product. If you have a certificate from CLPA saying this has passed the the conformance test, then you know it's going to work properly, and it's going to work properly with all the other devices on the network. There's not going to be any finger pointing going on later on because something's not working properly. And again, we can do that for you in Europe. We have a conformance test center near Düsseldorf, and for those of you here, they do speak English, so no issues with language. So that was kind of all a bit of a preamble in a way, but let's talk about the main reason why we're here today, the Gateway to China program. So I think probably the first point here is that we started this program almost exactly 2 years ago, and it's been pretty successful. The number of logos going through the gate there has gotten more and more and more over time. We've gone from about 14 companies participating in this at the beginning to about 22 now, so we've had some pretty good interest in it. And what that's led us to do is that we are going to make an announcement at the SPS fair in Nuremberg in November that we're going to upgrade it. We're going to take it from being the gateway to China to being the gateway to Asia. So what this means is for companies who were thinking, yeah, well, looks like an interesting program, but we're not really interested in China, now you have the option of getting the assistance we offer in countries like Japan, Korea, Taiwan, India even. So, you know, the idea is we want to help people get into more markets because we know this is where our technology is being used. But the program itself is very simple. As you can see there, it's just 3 parts to it. First of all, you join the CC Link Partner Association, so you actually become a member. And you can do that for free at the beginning. Then the next step is to actually develop a CC Link product. So what kind of product it is up to you, but obviously it has to connect to CC Link in some way. You get it conformance tested like we just discussed. And then finally, once you've got all that taken care of, we will work with you to market it in the market of your choice, China or elsewhere in Asia. But again, the key point here is that if you join us as a regular member and you pay a membership fee every year, all these benefits are included. There's no additional cost. So what follows is some slides which kind of give you some sample activities of what we've done already in China and how we've been working over there. But I think the key point is that as well as it being related to China, you could easily substitute Japan or Taiwan or Korea for China. It's going to operate in all of those markets too. So this is kind of a summary of some of the things we've been doing. You can see here we do various advertising. There's roadshows and fairs and so on, webinars and some also we do like special inserts and so on, things like that. But actually to give you a bit more detail on those, most of these magazines you're probably not familiar with because I suspect most of you haven't been spending a lot of time looking at the Chinese automation market recently, but these are kind of like the key magazines for the Chinese market as far as automation goes. So we have a good relationship with all of those magazines. We've been actively advertising in there, and you can see at the top there's a CC Link ad on the cover of the top one. And so these are the kind of things we can do as far as print media is concerned. Then of course you can't forget the internet. So these 2 web portals are kind of like the places to go as far as China is concerned when you need to know more about what's going on with automation. And again, if you look closely at these screen captures, you can see the blue boxes in the left-hand monitor there. Those are actually some of HMS's network gateways which support CC Link. So there's promotion going on there too. Like most of the other countries of the world, China has a lot of fair activity, roadshows and so on. 2 of the key ones for automation, you've got the IAS fair, which is coming up in November in Shanghai, and you also have the SIAF fair in Guangzhou, which is kind of like the Chinese version of the SPS fair that we have here in Europe. And we have presences, booths at both of those fairs. So for example, if you have a CC Link product you want to promote in those fairs, we can have a display of your products at those fairs. And as well as that, we also do roadshows where you have the same possibilities. The main issue for you guys probably is that, of course, you actually have to have people who can communicate in the local language to make that effective. But I think most of you probably already have that taken care of. But of course, the other key point here is that it makes things very easy for you. There's no organizational issues. We basically take care of all that for you. Of course, there's always people who can't make it to fairs or whatever. They get stuck in fog or whatever. So we do webinars too. So here's an example of one of our colleagues in China doing that. So that's pretty much sums up everything I had to say. So hopefully now you can see that CC-Link is a technology that's used globally as well as Asia. But as well as that, it is very strong in Asia. And we can offer you a wide range of benefits if you join our organization.